What's going on, everyone? Today I've got a tip that may help you if you feel that you have plateaued in your weight training. Now, one thing to keep in mind before I actually start talking about this is that getting on a solid program is a good idea. You should be on some kind of program, whether it's a certain split or something, where, or you're following certain rep schemes, or probably both, where you know what you're going to be doing in the gym and you actually try and do that each and every day. But the one thing to remember is that over time your body is pretty smart and it gets used to doing the same thing over and over again, and so it adapts, right? And so if you're just continually using the same weight and the same reps and the same sets, then your body gets used to it, and generally it's a good idea to try and switch up your training after like 6 to 8 weeks. But the main thing to remember is that when I say change your training, you don't want to actually completely shift your focus to something totally different. So if you generally train with maybe like 10 to 12 reps, it's a good idea to, maybe after 6 to 8 weeks, keep doing the 10 to 12 reps and maybe keep doing 4 sets of that. But instead of doing, your exercises in a certain order, change the exercises up, because that's going to kind of shock your muscles a little bit. So let's say for legs you always go squat, leg extension, leg curl, leg press, and then you're done. Maybe start with squat, then do the leg press first, then maybe leg curl, and then finish with leg extensions. Or maybe don't even do squat first. If you're primarily going for muscle gain, you could get away with actually doing some isolation movements first and then do the squat a bit later on when your body is already fatigued. And obviously you won't be able to lift as much weight in this instance, but that doesn't actually matter when you're looking to body build. Another thing you can do that's going to actually stop your body from being used to your regular training is to start doing things like drop sets or supersets. So if you always did one set after another, one exercise after another, maybe try supersetting them, or maybe try doing your 12 reps, then straight away drop the weight, like, I don't know, by maybe half the weight that you were doing for your first set, and do another set. And so obviously it's really easy. What you do is you've got a solid program, you follow that for 6 to 8 weeks, and then what you do is you just, instead of doing a certain exercise first, you make that last. Maybe change one exercise every day of your split and do that for 6 to 8 weeks. And then maybe the week after that start doing some supersets for 6 to 8 weeks. By that time you're already looking at 18 to 24 weeks of training where you've kept a similar rep scheme and a similar set scheme, but you've kept the muscles guessing by doing all this, changing things up a little bit, because changing things up is super important, because otherwise you will hit a plateau and you will just stay stagnant. Obviously you always want to be trying to implement some kind of progressive overload into your training as well, but even that can kind of, you can hit a wall with that as well. So if you hit a wall on how much you can squat or bench or deadlift, instead of just trying to forcibly go through it, maybe start adding in some accessory movements for those particular movements, some pause reps on the bench, some pause reps on squats, or some deficit deadlifts, or some rack pulls, things like that. You've got to keep changing it up to keep making gains. That's going to be all for this video. Just wanted to make a little quick hint about what you can do to make sure that you keep progressing in the gym. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure you give the video a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next video.